An open letter to my oldest son as he leaves for college. You were in such a hurry to arrive. There I was, in the middle of a Class 4 hurricane a month before my due date, packing a bag for the hospital between contractions as gusts of rain rattled the house. There was your father, videotaping through the windshield as he drove, the eerie bank of toll booths on the highway unmanned and free for all. And then, suddenly, there you were, long and skinny and undercooked, still missing your eyelashes and your fingernails. In all my life, I had never seen anything as remarkable as your life. As the doctors and nurses wandered the halls of the hospital, quarantined by the storm, as reporters on the grainy television overhead talked about waves breaking over the sea wall and coastal flooding, I held you tight. You, I thought, already have a story to tell the world. You were in such a hurry to arrive, and now, 18 years later, I'm having a hard time letting you go. I know that the whole point of parenting is getting your child to the point where he can forge his own path. I know that a hatchling who is 6 feet tall and sports size 12 shoes is not really a hatchling anymore. And I know that the preparations for this moment have been ongoing, from packing up your clothes to selecting the desk lamp for your dorm room, from writing out directions to help you do your own laundry to opening up a bank account in your name. All these tiny hallmarks that let a stranger see, at close range, you are no longer a child, but an adult. Yet now that we're actually in the moment, driving to the school that will serve as a bridge to your future, I feel like there's something I've forgotten. Did I tell you that you have to change the bag inside the vacuum every now and then? Do you have any idea how to sew on a button? I have equipped you with extra long sheets and a television set and a credit card with your name emblazoned across the bottom. Boxes are piled high in the back of the car, full of your softest tees and your broken-in jeans, your favorite books and your iPod speakers, everything you assume you will need to recreate home. In a few hours, after we have unloaded and unpacked and made the bed and hung your posters on the walls, I am going to hold you tight and tell you for the 1,000th time how proud I am of you. I'm going to paste a smile on my face and I'm going to say, work hard, have fun. There's so much, though, that I won't be saying to you today. It's the lump sum of the 25-year lead I've got on you, a quarter-century of mistakes and triumphs. But unlike the litmus test for when you take a Tylenol versus when you call the doctor, something we discussed this past summer, these lectures aren't quickly memorized. They can't be tucked like notes between the folds of your comforter and the chapters of your paperbacks, inside the jewel cases of your CDs. Lessons of the heart are different that way. They have to be learned on your own. So although I am thinking it, you won't hear me tell you, do what you love. Have you ever heard a 5-year-old say that when he grows up he wants to be an advertising executive? I didn't think so. A crazy thing happens at university. Kids who once wanted to be astronauts and ballerinas and firemen somehow morph into bankers and public relations specialists and sales managers. Practicality, such as paying the bills for the first time in your life, is a heavy-duty abrasive that wears the sharp edges of a dream to fit the round hole of reality. Remember me, with my 1-in-a-million career path, the writer I hoped to be, instead of the teacher I assumed I'd be. Don't listen to people who ask you what on earth one does with a degree in Egyptology. If it's what you fall asleep thinking about and wake up excited about, it's what you should pursue. The rest, including a paycheck, will somehow sort itself out. You won't hear me tell you, see the world through your own eyes. When you were 10, you stood up in class and blurted out, "I love math!" It was an outburst of sheer enthusiasm, followed by a chorus of snickers from the rest of the class. I remember cringing because I knew how much you'd be teased. But you know what? You did love math. You still do. And you knew even at that age that your voice had just as much right to be heard as anyone else's. That's still true, whether you are talking about religion, politics, or sexual orientation.